What is up, Twitch chat, YouTube? Happy New Year, 2022. What a better way to get it started than by playing in the very first vintage challenge of the year. I'll be starting up real soon. I was like, what do I want to do today? What do I want to play? I have no idea. What if we, remember our 2021, what went well? Well, we won 2 PTQs. What did we win those 2 PTQs with? We won 1 playing Paradoxical Outcome, and we won 1 playing Oath of Druids. Why not play them both? So here we have a very, it's not a new idea by any means, a very classic PO Oath deck. What makes this deck different from, say, the PTQ winning Oath list? Well, the other Oath list was more of a control deck, where this is definitely more of a combo shell. You have your artifact base to support Paradoxical Outcome, so you get a lot of free wins just by doing Paradoxical Outcome things. But then you also have Oath of Druids popping in some combo-oriented creatures. This time we're going to choose 1 Grizzlebrand, 1 Hullbreacher Horror. In the past, I have played 2 Grizzlebrands in this slot. I have also seen people play 1 Grizzlebrand, 1 Sphinx of the Steel Wind as an additional Tinker target. However, I kind of hate oathing into Sphinx of the Steel Wind. It makes me feel bad, so we're gonna put it in the sideboard and only bring it in if it makes sense. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I'm deciding to do. Of course, we are playing the best combination in Vintage, which is Tinker Citadel. And our Tinker Citadel deck is fine. It's not great at utilizing Tinker Citadel. Like, you do have some high mana cost things, but if you ever like pay 7 or 8 life to put a Hullbreacher Horror or Grizzlebrand in play, it's usually okay. I am still running 2 tops. You don't have to run 2 tops. You can maybe run 1 top and play like an Oko or something in here. But I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Triple counter spells to protect our PO and our Oath, Fluster, Veil. We are playing Mystical Vamp Demonic for Tinker because Tinker is broken. And then we are playing a Stormkill. You could choose to play Tendrils here. I don't ever choose to play Tendrils because the card is fairly bad on its own, whereas Brain Freeze at least pitches to Force of Will and has some minor gameplay against things like Doomsday. But you also have like a lot of different Yogg-Will lines and, traditional PO kills with Citadel Yogg-Will, or just like PO into Brain Freeze. Another thing that we have in our deck is we're not playing Gaia's Blessing. Gaia's Blessing, in my opinion, is better in the controlling Oath decks when you are playing a combo-oriented Oath deck with Yawgmoth's Will, or say, what's the other one? Underworld Breach. I prefer Memory's Journey. Basically, it lets you, if you have, even if there's like a Grafdigger's Cage or something, or a Containment Priest or something, you can mill over our entire deck using Oath triggers, and then before we draw out, we can flash back the Memory's Journey from our graveyard, put the Yawgmoth's Will or, Yawgmoth's Will Time Walk on top of our library. And no, we probably don't want to do Yawgmoth's Will Time Walk on top of your library. It depends on exactly what's going on, but the main thing is you're putting a Yawgmoth's Will on the top of your library so that you can play all your artifacts that you milled over and then kill them with Brain Freeze. I sure hope that that is actually feasible here. Traditionally, I think I played like a Vault Key and did something through that. I wonder if I'm supposed to be playing a Tendrils just because of the Memory's Journey. That is, I guess, a big question. So I'm a little worried that like I won't have enough artifacts and spells for my Memory's Journey when I go for a Yawg-Will. It doesn't come up like that much, but it does come up enough that it's a kind of interesting choice. I think it should be fine. I guess we'll find out together. Is Hullbreacher better than Archon? I don't perceive Archon as a combo-oriented card. Archon is great at stabilizing against problematic things that are happening, but it doesn't actually win the game very fast, whereas I think a Hullbreacher should. In our test league, Hullbreacher was pretty reasonable, and I like the secondary casting of just like being able to cast this and have it not be countered. So like I think the right answer might just be 2 Grizzlebrands, but I think I want to try a Hullbreacher Horror. Is there any specific reason for a 3-1 Lantern Crypt split? Yeah, I just like a lot of times sometimes like you're playing against Dredge and you have land, Mox, Demonic Tutor, and you can't play a Lantern, so you might want to need a Crypt. So just because I have a tutor-based deck, I think having an access to a Tormod's Crypt is good. Also, Tormod's Crypt is typically better card with Paradoxical Outcome, so there's a lot of things there. So yeah, the only thing I'm considering right now with our final 3 minutes is, do I actually want this Brain Freeze, or will I just, like, succumb and play to Tendrils? Play the Tendies. I wish I had some games with this Brain Freeze. I'm just, the thing that I'm worried about is very specifically Memories Journeying Yogwell and then not having enough spells for Brain Freeze to be lethal. I don't think I would play. I don't ever play Needle in the main unless I'm playing Urza Saga. I think it's like just not worth it. Like against Bizarre decks, you're actually probably fine because you're a more combo oriented shell. You can win on turn 1 kind of thing. I think that we're supposed to play Tendrils, which I hate so much. But I think it's actually correct because I am like legitimately worried that we can't use our Memories Journey Yogwill thing. Okay, I think I am going to swap this for Tendrils, even though I just shat on Tendrils for a while there. Like, Tendrils is always playable in these decks, but I find it to be more training wheels in typical PO decks. Like, if you're playing Esper PO, I don't think you need Tendrils. I think it makes your deck worse. But for this very specific thing where we're milling our deck over and Memories Journey backing a Yogwill, we need to get, like, let's say they've gone through 15 cards or something, then we had to get 45 cards, so we would need, you know, like 17 spells or something. That was a random number. I'm not actually sure how close that is. 17, 3. That sounds like it's too many, but like if we played all of our, maybe it's fine. Like we probably would have used some Moxen. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna leave Brain Freeze and see how it goes. You don't even have Sensei's Top in your deck. Get out of here, Slasher. Ah! Why are you gonna start 2020 like this? Would you rather pay 8 life and put a Grizzlebrand in play, or would you rather pay 8 life and like draw 2 cards with your Seagate Restoration? Come on, Slasher. All right, anyways, I was up like fucking hella late last night, so I am very hungover and tired. I'm gonna do my best to keep energy levels as high as I can for this challenge, but if I do, you know, fall asleep, just wake me up or something. I don't know. All right, let's just jump into round 1. We actually have the true PO master, the Italian PO master in round 1. A player who has a very good win rate against me, and actually one of the better win rates across Magic Online for premier events in 2021. So this is, you know, probably going to be Esper PO. Let's see what happens. Classic Hullbreacher Horror in my hand. At least it pitches to Force. However, this hand is interesting. Like I basically have 2 Forces, 2 bad blue cards, and a Mystical Tutor. And against a normal deck, maybe that's not actually good. But against PO, I kind of think it's fine. So I'm going to try to keep it. Like, I can just go get an Ancestral, and it seems reasonable here. Like, I'd like to get a Tinker, but I just don't have a Moxen right now. I don't typically mulligan hands against PO where I have Force of Will, because there are huge swaths of PO draws where you just need a Force of Will. Apparently this is not one of those, but Mystical for DT, DT for Oath. Man, I don't know. Maybe. It's not an unreasonable line. I try to avoid that, but I mean, we could just get Flusterstormed here and it doesn't actually matter, right? But that's the worst part about this is like they can actually let the Mystical Resolve and counter whatever's coming back on the next other side with the Flusterstorm. Does play around Mental Misstep, which I do like. I mean, yeah, this is also kind of like what we signed up for. It just takes so long, right? But I guess it's viable. It's viable. Yeah, let's try it. I'm down. We only have a Grizzlebrand to work with, but I mean, hitting a Grizzlebrand is probably better than a Hullbreacher Heart anyways. So I think we'll be okay. Well, the problem is if they have a Flusterstorm, they're going to Flusterstorm Demonic Tutor, like, without a doubt, right? Okay, so they had Mystical Force. I'm just going to force pitching a PO. Ancestral was what they were baiting. I feel pretty good about just countering it. It seems very reasonable to me. So here, Hullbreacher Horror not being Grizzlebrand was actually incredibly important because it pitched a Force of Will. Yeah, let's just get an Oath. So my opponent is on 4 cards, and they're probably playing PO, which means they need a lot to go right. Besides, they need to have like Mana Crypt Tinker, probably. Those are probably the biggest things that they could have. I will lose the Mana Crypt Tinker. I mean, my opponent had a Force of Will Ancestral hand, so it's like pretty good against my double Force hand. They got Brainstorm Fetchland here. Yep. So now they probably don't need that much. Let's see what happens. Even just finding Force of Will blue card is good. 1 Mox. 1 Mana Vault. PO for 2. No, PO for 2. Interesting. No, it's not willing it into existence. This is David. They always have it. They always have it. I don't remember a time when they didn't have it. Okay. I have an Oath. I'm assuming this resolves unless they found exactly blue card force. Okay, so they didn't have blue card force and they didn't have PO, which is good for me. Let's see if they have like Mox PO here or Tinker. Both of those are the things they're looking for. I mean, PO is just on its own here is 3. Urza Saga not very good. Again, I still hold the opinion you should not be playing Urza Saga in your Paradoxical Outcome deck. Let's see what they have for us. It looks like they have a hard cast Sphinx of the Steelwind. Okay, so we should just win the game here, I would assume. We're going to 15. We can draw 14 cards off of our Grizzlebrand. I would hope we can win off that. I hope so. If we can't, the deck's not very good. All right, so Memory's Journey. Okay, so yeah, now we can almost deterministically draw our Yogwill. But we do need the mana for it. Is Black Lotus still in our deck? It is. Okay, so before we draw here, let's Memory's Journey back. Yogwill. Let's think about this. There's a Time Walk in the bin, and there's a Yogwill in the bin. So I want to put both of those cards back in my deck with a Memory's Journey. How many Moxen are left? There is 2 Moxen left. We might be like just short on mana and things here. 14 cards. I'm going to journey back 2 cards into my deck is to 19. And then I'm going to draw down to 18 and I can draw down to 4. And I could always miss on Yogwill or Time Walk, but that's pretty unlikely. I have a Brain Freeze. I'm going to Yogwill Brain Freeze is how we're going to win the game. I'm concerned Ancestral Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I think that makes the most sense. So I'm gonna Memories Journey. I'm gonna target myself. I'm gonna put Yogwill, Time Walk, and Ancestral back into my deck. And then I'm going to draw. And then I'm going to draw with Grizzlebrand. No Time Walk. Going to draw with Grizzlebrand. Okay, yeah, Ancestral puts me at actually all my cards. So this should just be lethal no matter what, right? So I actually did not draw Yogwill or Time Walk, but I have Ancestral now, so that doesn't actually matter, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm starting to, like, it's weird because I think we're supposed to be playing 2 Grizzlebrands so that you always hit Grizzlebrand off of Oath. But I also would never have won this game if my Hullbreacher horror was a Grizzlebrand, which is just kind of, I don't know, kind of interesting to me. So yeah, I can Ancestral down to 0 cards. I'm just making sure I don't die here. Yeah, I got down to 0 cards. Wait, where is my Yogwill? Wait, what the fuck happened? Where's my Yogwill? I cast Memories Journey targeting only Ancestral Recall? What happened? Didn't I click Yogwill Time Walk Ancestral? I knew the math didn't make any sense because I didn't think I was going to 0 cards. That's so frustrating. I'm gonna lose this game because the Yogwill didn't go back in my deck. Did I not click it? What the hell happened? No, we have to get 48. So we need to have what, 10 plus an additional 6. We need 10 more spells and we can't draw any cards. I mean, I think we just lost a 1 game because I didn't click the right cards. I clicked Time Walk twice by accident. That is got to be the most annoying thing that ever happened to me. Oh no, I just want to go and look because I'm just kind of tilted. I guess that's what I get for not giving myself more wake up time. I clicked Time Walk twice. What the fuck happened? I'm just trying to make sure it's not a bug and I just misclicked. Memories Journey, Yogwill. Oh, oh my god, the Yogwill popped up in front of the Time Walk. So if you look right here, oh my god, I hate this game so much. So watch this Yogwill. Watch this Yogwill. On Ancestral. I click the Yogwill, and then the Yogwill pops up in front of the Time Walk. Look at that. The Yogwill pops up in front of the Time Walk, which the Time Walk was about to be clicked, and the Yogwill popped up in front of it. I hate this game. All right. Can I cast 10 spells? Okay. I don't even have 10 spells in my hand. I have all lands, right? Like I can play 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can play top. And then I can play, I only have 4 blue. So I think I'm gonna be short. 8, 9, 10, 33. Yeah, I mean, I lost the game. All right, good job, Moto. Fucking great. I have 0 cards in my library, so no. All right, so Magic Online claims the first victim of 2022. It was a totally one game. A totally one game. Incredible. Well, I should have just reviewed my memories journey. I mean, it's my own fault, really. I should just have, I should have looked at what my targets were before I resolved the spell. Okay, so we're playing against PO, and I'm going to bring in Flusterstorm and a Hurkyl's Recall, because they're playing Saga. And I'm going to take out an island, and I'm going to take out... These are all good. What else am I going to take out? Are there any bad cards? Don't think I want to take out anything else. Maybe I won't bring in a Hurkyl's Recall. I guess I'm not going to bring in a Hurkyl's Recall. I'm just going to take out an island for a Flusterstorm. I'm pretty pre-boarded for this matchup, so... I mean, I could like trim on Oath package, I guess, but that's fine. They're playing like Lavinias and Urza's Sagas and stuff, so... You can't make this shit up, man. Oh, boy. Okay, let's try to win 3 games of Magic this round. Another Hullbreacher Horror hand. I have an Oath, but no green source. I have a Tinker, but not enough mana. I have a Flusterstorm. This hand is like so close, but there are just so many ways this ends so badly for me. Like it's a Multa 6. I guess I would keep this 6 normally, but I just have so many draws that are bad, and I can't really like harness the power of this Flusterstorm. I'm just gonna put this hand back and try again. I think it's a good 6, but I need a couple pieces of action. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna mulligan that hand. I guess this is it's not exactly better. I would not consider this to be exactly better, but I'm gonna just keep it, I guess. Like it's very close to being good enough. I have Force and Fluster versus PO, so sure. All right, I mean, obviously I'm looking for a Mana Crypt here is my best draw. It'll give me PO plus Flusterstorm backup. Mystical Tutor is not a very good draw, I don't believe. I guess the Mystical Tutor can find me an Ancestral Recall, but I'm not thrilled with that line either. I guess the best thing Mystical Tutor does is probably just pitches to Force. I might just not cast Mystical Tutor, so I have a blue card for Force and just continue looking to draw mana of the Mox mana Crypt variety. Yeah, I don't feel casting this Mystical Tutor. Why do I feel like I'm gonna get Hullbreachered? Oh, they have their own Ancestral Recall, which they can now. Sure. Yeah, you got it. Would have really liked to have a game to give here, but I guess not. I guess I should have pitched PO so that I could still Mystical for Tinker, which I can play through a Narset. I'm just not playing well at this point, right? My opponent's gonna Fluster Storm here, and I'm going to lose, right? So wait, no, I don't lose this, right? Because I can pay, so I can Fluster Storm all their things, and then they pay 1, and then I pay 1. Okay, sure. I think that's how that works. So never mind, this plays fine. So I targeted the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, same targets. Oh wait, no, they can just, yeah, as long as I have 2 on the first one. Or does this not work the way I want it to? Whatever. No, because if they pay, then I would just pay, right? Whatever. I don't know. Flusterstorm. All right, I have to draw. Oh, they have another force? They have 2 forces in their hand. All right, cool. Dope. Awesome. So yeah, if I'm stupid, if I had just pitched the PO, I would be able to Mystical for a Tinker and still be able to win this game, but now I am dead. So like even if I draw Oath of Druid, I guess I could draw Oath of Druids. Yeah, this was such a bad play. Oh boy. I have so many dead draws too. I mean, it was a winnable game. I just threw it again. So, like, they didn't find a Fluster or a Force off of their Narset, so there was definitely a shot. This is gonna find a PO, and I'm gonna lose. Found a Tinker. Yeah, I'm cool. Awesome. Dope. Sweet. All right, cool. Fun. What a great time. All right, cool. Ready? We're gonna play round 2, and we're gonna try to play Magic the Gathering, and that's not gonna help us do that. So let's try again. Okay, I mean this is fine. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Just keep both lands. Play a Mana Vault, pass. Upkeep. Mystical Tinker. Force backup, probably. No, we're just tinkering. We're just tinkering. As with all good decks, stop thinking, start tinkering. If they leave open Fluster mana, then I may choose to not Mystical. Try to draw a blue card and then Mystical or something. Try to hold up Flusterstorm on the next turn. But if they tap out or they're playing a deck that can't, you know, do Magic the Gathering things, then, you know, you just murder them. Could technically brick here, I guess. But what's a guy to do? No, a buy would be playing against you. So I'm like, Slasher, now is not the time. Now is not the time. I'm trying to untilt. I fucking can't ever. I'm trying to untilt from Moto killing me in round 1, and you're not helping. Neither is this. I should still win, theoretically, but... We'll see what happens. Like, if they play a Trinisphere here, I probably am not in a very good shape. So in round 1, I had a deterministically, well, close to deterministically lethal Memories Journey for put a Yagwa's Will back on top of my library and then draw 14 cards with Grizzlebrand and kill my opponent. And I went to click Time Walk, which was directly above Yawgmoth's Will, and the Yawgmoth's Will popped up out of the Moto UI, and so I accidentally clicked Yawgmoth's Will twice and didn't get either. But it's fine, because we're playing new Magic now. I have a Bolas' Citadel in play, and nothing could possibly ever go wrong. This is a Europe, well, an EU island. It's Venice, I believe. Okay, not a Trinisphere. All right, so we should still be fine here. I'm gonna reveal Fluster, aren't I? Okay. Oh my god. Stop! Not like this. Bruh. Bruh. Oh no, that was a mental missteppable target. Oh, it was a mental missteppable. It was the only one. I can't, man. I can't, man. It's too much. I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. All right, I have 9 life to work with. That's gonna be like a Grizzlebrand on top of my library. So if I had cast Mental Misstep, I would have been at 8. I go to 5. I go to 4. I go to... I'm not... Oh, they would have been less mana. Like, obviously it's incredibly unlucky, but also like half of it is just me being tilted and punting it anyways. So little rough like that. Like, it's definitely very unlucky, but also, I mean, I could just play better, right? So, yeah. Remember? Remember at the start of this stream where I was like, man, I'm going to keep my energy high. Why'd I say that? Shouldn't have said that. I could hold open Vamp, but I can't really use... I don't really know what I would Vamp even for. Like, I'm just going to force their first threat and jam an Oath, and then it should... Or, like, unless their first threat is a Foundry Inspector. Like, they're... Actually, I don't even have to... Like, I don't even have to counter almost anything. Besides, like, a Cage, a Revoker. Like, I can just let this resolve. I don't actually care. And then I can counter whatever comes next and just jam an Oath, and they will lose, so... Okay. Mox Opal? Okay. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen one of those in a hot minute. You just like play one for an extra Moxen in your deck? Interesting. What's going on? Why are we waiting? Play magic cards. Please play magic cards. Okay, another Moxen. And a Lotus. All right, well, now things could go badly. They could have, like, double sphere. Yeah, it's been a day. It has most certainly been a day. So, technically... I'm not guaranteed an Oath trigger here. My opponent could go like Ravager, eat both, Walking Ballista, shoot both. But if they do that, I have Vamp for Tinker, so doesn't matter very much. All right, cool. They're dead. You always love to see that. I should probably Vamp for something, but I just don't care. I probably should Vamp for, I don't know, anything. Thanks for the sub. Happy New Year. Why creature and not artifact? Because they play no artifacts that are not creatures that can harm me, but they do get germ tokens and spirit tokens, which are creatures and not artifacts. It's a good question. Okay, so here I have a wastelandable land, a soul ring, a force, and kind of garbage. So I'm just gonna mulligan this. Try again. Okay. I'm gonna put back the emissary because hitting the emissary off of Oath is better than hitting the Sphinx off of Oath. Even though I can't tinker this because it's in my hand, it also could just be a blue card to pitch to force. So I think overall it makes more sense to put the emissary back. Even though the emissary is almost castable, you're like, if they did nothing, right? But the thing is, it's shops, they're not going to do nothing, so. It's kind of rough to have to keep a can against shops where I don't have a force, but I have an ancestral, so it's pretty hard to, I have to do what I got to do. Can't say no. Workshop, Sphere of Resistance, you got it. It's a good draw. I'm gonna fetch a basic island. I'm gonna fetch a tropical. I'm gonna fetch a basic island. I'm gonna play a Mox and a Lotus, and hopefully that doesn't get revoked. If it gets revoked, I will Ancestral. Well, the problem now is if I do it, I lose my ruby, but I guess if I had Ancestral on my turn, I could have hit a Mox and used the mana to play the Mox. I don't know. I guess I can hit Force now and save my ruby with my floating mana if I wanted to. Kind of depends on how short I am on mana. Okay, I don't have Blaze. Well, the good news is, looks like they don't have a land. Oh no, they just go to the next phase. The good news is I have at least Academy make more mana with my tops, so that's the good news. I think that limits us too much. I guess if I get wastelanded, I can't ever win, but that's just kind of Magic the Gathering, I guess. They are incentivized to play an Ancient Tomb here so they can start making Saga tokens. So there's some upside. Sure. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Land. I have 4 mana. Recall costs 3, puts me back to 2. I can play a top, and I have 3 mana, and I can end of turn Hercules. Okay. This time I'm gonna get a trop. That's fun. I'm mostly being destroyed by myself. So, you know, typical level 1 stream. All right. I don't think there's anything that I can get that concerns me very much. I wonder if this deck should be playing Ravagers anymore. Ravager's pretty anti-synergistic with constructs and Nettle Cyst. I think it's time they drop this. I mean, if my opponent has nothing else, I think I'm going to win. So, like, I'm just going to end of turn, bounce their board, and kill them. Okay. You gotta love an aggro shops meta. Also good, like, deck building. Like, I cut the 4 Nature's Claim from my or I cut Nature's Claim from my sideboard and played Hurkyl's Recalls and Nature's Claims instead. So like there's like some amount where that's just good deck building, but because I'm gonna spin top at the end of turn. I don't understand. Force Hurkyl. All right, well, I just start with Mana Crypt and then we just murder them. I actually probably don't need to use my Academy right away, so that's nice. I guess I could run into Mindbreak Trap theoretically, but as long as I play PO second, should be okay. And then after I play PO second, I'll draw Force of Will, so everything will be fine. I didn't get an Underground Sea, so it means I'm actually kind of far away from like card casting this. I am at 6. Interesting. I don't know. I thought what I held the wrong button. I hate this game. I need to go to bed, chat. I thought I could play on 4 hours of sleep, but it seems like that is not the case. It's okay. The good thing is I can play PO in my sleep, so I'm not too worried. That's unfortunate because I do think Ballista is probably one of the better cards in the deck, so a little rough in that matter. So I haven't played a land yet, so I can hit Orchard and I can go like Time Walk Oath, but I still haven't hit an Orchard. I have hit all of my opals though, so I have lots of mana. Should I Memories Journey cards back into my deck? Is that worth doing? I don't know. I guess I can shuffle if these cards are bad. Well, I found an Orchard, so also a Citadel, also a Brain Freeze. I guess all of these are lethal. I guess all of these are lethal. That's fun. I like that. Literally, my top 3 cards were all lethal in different ways. Maybe not the Citadel, but they boarded in Dismember? Why'd you board in Dismember, friend? I'm a little confused. All right. Goodbye, opponent. Even you. I don't know what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. We're moving on. Okay, so here we are in round 3. We're playing against Karate Dom. I just went and looked at how long it took them to win these games and who they played against. They lost to Beerus in 1 minute, 3 minute. Beerus being probably on Dredge, and then they won these 2 matches in 4 minutes. So I'm just gonna say some kind of combo deck. Let's see what they got for us today. They could also be like triple queuing or something. So who knows where they are? Yes, they're currently double queuing a modern challenge. I guess it could technically be Vine. That could be Vine as well. Vine would get pretty dumpstered by Dredge. In game 1 anyways. Like games 2 and 3 you usually board in like 13 cards or something, so where's our Dom? Bring back Dom. I don't know where he is. All right, I will be right back. All right, the Dom has returned. Just powdered away a Squee hand, so we know we're up against Squee. This hand is like misstep is not great, but knowing the contents of their hand is reasonable. We have a Demonic and a Time Walk. I think I'm gonna keep it. Like it might just lose to a 7-card hand from Squee, but I don't know. I think it's probably within the range. Like even just going probe, seeing their hand, seeing if I can go like Tinker, Demonic Tinker, or even like Demonic Oath if they're not. It's kind of rough because both of those are pretty weak against Force of Vigor. I don't have my Sphinx in the main deck, so I can't Tinker for Sphinx, which is usually going to be lethal against HollowVine. So I probably need to be able to beat an initial set of cards. Like a Flusterstorm would help, I agree. My opponent has now 13 cards, and they kept a 5-card post powder. Bizarre, activate, survey says, what you got for us? All their 2 Squeeze are gone, 1 Master is gone, 1 Vigor is gone. No hollow ones are gone. Looks like they have a Vine hand, okay. I could misstep one of these, but I don't think that's actually that good. I think I'd rather hold it in case I draw Force. The Squee deck basically uses Bazaar of Baghdad as a way to play only free spells, and then uses Squee and Master of Death to turn your Bazaar of Baghdad into card advantage. A problem with Gataxian probing is it turns on Mindbreak Trap. So a correct play maybe Mox, Underground Sea, Time Walk, Probe to play around Trap. But that doesn't allow me to like Demonic for something. Oh. Never mind. I think we just slam Oath and hope they have nothing. Should I do that? I mean, no, I don't need to do that, right? Because I can go probe and see if they have something, and then I could Time Walk and hope to draw Force. There's like no downside to me Time Walking, right? I don't think. I think I can just Time Walk and then... obviously I lose out on the ability to go like Oath Time Walk, which would be pretty strong, but I think it's like, if I am going to get Force of Vigor, I really don't want to play Oath Emerald, right? So I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think it's worth playing around. So what I'll do is I'll go Mox, Time Walk, Probe, and then on my next turn, I'll either jam an Oath or I will Demonic for something, like a Fluster. I'm going to be pretty low on life if I do that, but I guess I'm already at 15, and I'm going to go to 13, and they have 6 damage. Getting a little dicey, but... like, theoretically, there are other lines here where I, like, probe to start and Demonic for, like, a Lotus or something, but I just think that playing around Trap in this circumstance with my opponent having a Vine hand, but no thing, it just feels like they could have Trap or Force. Like, they didn't have a hollow one. They had just this. Though the hand that they kept was a 5 post powder, right? Can't remember how exactly that works. Let's just time walk. And then let's probe. Like, if this gets trapped, I think that's whatever. I don't know if I care very much. So my opponent has Mind Break, Trap, Strip Mine, Vengevine. Perfect. So we successfully played around that, though just jamming Oath would have beaten that. I've drawn 3 Oath of Druids, which is probably a little bit too many Oath of Druids, but... So I'm going to go down to 9-7. If I hit Hullbreacher Horror, it could be bad for me. But if I hit Grizzlebrand, that should be lights out, I would think. They pitched Wasteland, Vengevine. Well, I couldn't really play around Strip Mine, right? I guess I could have just chosen not to play my land. I wonder if I was supposed to do that. I could have just chosen not to play my land. Huh. Interesting. Maybe I was supposed to do that. Wait, no, I played my Underground Sea first, right? So never mind. That doesn't actually matter. All right, so I either get a Hullbreacher Horror or Grizzlebrand. I'm a little worried if I hit Hullbreacher Horror. I hit Grizzlebrand. I have Memory's Journey. There's Ancestral Time Walk in my yard. I can't activate Grizzlebrand. I can't play Demonic. All right, I just have to... I'm thinking I'm going to just draw. Hit an Orchard. So... They still have a Mind Break trap. If I Demonic, then they have 4 attackers. It's pretty bad. So I should definitely Demonic for something. Maybe just Yogwill. And then we'll just activate Oath and Yogwill. I guess that loses if my opponent finds Force. Doesn't lose. Should be fine, I think. I also have a Memories Journey that I can do at the end of turn if I wanted to, for whatever reason. Can I Memories Journey them? Oh shit, I can Memories Journey them. That's cool. I didn't even realize this is an instant. Ah, sick. Okay. So if they had like some kind of crazy Vengevine line here, I could throw the Vengevines back in their deck. I'm kind of happy my opponent didn't make me play that out, because I'm a little interested to see what I would do. Or maybe I wanted them to play it out so I could figure out what I would do. Interesting. Very interesting. So here I'm going to switch my targets again. And I'm going to play a absolute metric ton of cards. I can get rid of this Tinker target. I can get rid of Mental Misstep. I can get rid of Brain Freeze. I can get rid of Memory. Well, I kind of think Memory Journey is probably fine then. I can probably get rid of like Opal, PO, Top. Like the way we're winning this game is not via combo, it's via an unbeatable threat. Maybe it's just like 2 POs. It was like really bad versus them, so I think I want to be able to get an island because they do play Wasteland. Both tops. I don't know about both tops. It could just be more opals, actually. Scroll... maybe? I don't know. Narset, I think, is actually pretty good in this matchup. If, like, my opponent keeps a draw-heavy hand, you can play a Narset, like, off of Lotus. It's way worse on the draw, but on the play, it's quite good. Narset can be pretty good because my opponent's not dredging, and it stops them from drawing. So in this hand, I have a piece of Graveyard Hate, an Oath of Druids. Yeah, I mean, this is a keep. It's like a little loose if they have like snapback and stuff, but at least I have a variety of answers. Vengevine, Squee. Okay. Well, the good news is I can jam a Soul Guide Lantern here. And I can even keep it with Counterspell backup, which is probably worth doing. The nicest thing about this Soul Guide Lantern is I get to eat the Squee and then hold the Lantern for the Vengevines, which is like, very nice. So they probably have to force this if they have a force. I will force back. Force pitching Trap, force pitching Sphinx. Do you have another one? I would doubt it. I get to hit your Squee to get rid of your card advantage engine. And I'm ahead by a lot in my mind. And if they're like, the only thing to be worried about is like getting this Force of Vigored Strip Mine. I guess that's something to be worried about as well. I fetched the basic to play around Wasteland, but you know how it goes. They didn't activate Bazaar, which means they're, they have something going on. I'm just going to go play everything. If they have Vigor, I think it's fine. Another Oath of Druids and a Sapphire. So if they have like Vigor here and a Strip Mine, I would want... I think I just get Sapphire and then I can draw into second Oath if it gets countered, maybe? Or I can spin away and get a PO. Yeah, it's probably fine. They didn't activate Bazaar, so they have something. Maybe they have like, I don't know. I'm not sure what it would be. Just a counterspell of some kind, maybe. Wasteland, okay. It's certainly good here. Karate Dome has disconnected. Okay, we'll have to wait till they come back. So what do we think's in their hand? That they wouldn't activate Bazaar on 3. Maybe two things they're working towards. Like they have like a Vigor but no green card and a Wasteland. Or maybe they have like a Force and a green card. I feel like if you had 3 cards in your hand and you didn't activate, it means you were working towards 2 things. I mean, 2 things could even be just like, I have blue card, Force, and Wasteland, right? I mean, we're insulated against Vengevine. The thing that is the scariest is like Wastelanding and then Vigoring my Oath, and then like that's probably the scariest, I would say. And the good news is we did draw this top, and this top is going to help us filter. I definitely like keeping a top in. Okay, so another non-activation. We know there's an Oath and a PO is our top 2. I think we just have to jam this and hope it works out. Okay, I'm gonna respond. I can never get a... Oh, so I should have played this Sapphire and spun and saw if I had a Flusterstorm. That's really bad, actually. That was a really bad missequencing. Okay, it didn't matter. So I guess if we don't get Vigored, but I mean, if we do get Vigored, oh my god, all of these are bad. But I guess PO and Oath are the least bad. Okay. Wait, did I just spin? I guess I'm going to play the Sapphire no matter what here, so I can spin again. And, like, put the... I mean... Oh, they just conceded. Okay. Sweet. I guess they didn't find a counterspell, and then they were going to just lose to the Oath target. Fair enough. All right, I guess we're back in this thing. 2-1 with 4 rounds to go. We'll take it. All right, here we are now, round 4. We're still 2-1 holding on. Good evening, Thorn. Thank you, Broccoli. And we are playing against Billster, who's usually a Shops player. Having Force of Will and Oath of Druids versus Shops is very good. We're going to do that. We've done a decent job of... It's actually not true. We have done an okay job of coming back from our round 1 catastrophe. That's a lot of mana. What do we got? A Lodestone? A 5/5 Serpent. I think that's just fine. Seems like an interesting hand to keep. I'm not sure I would just keep turn 1 5/5 Serpent. That's got to be the best draw in my deck, or at least one of the best draws in my deck. Maybe I was supposed to play Orchard so they had 2 creatures. And I mean, the only way this goes away is Ravager. I guess I was supposed to play Orchard, but if they like sack their whole board to a Ravager, then I'm winning anyways. So I think it's probably fine. I'm either flipping a Grizzlebrand or a Hullbreacher Horror. Both of them should very, very winning. Hullbreacher Horror might take more steps, I guess. This is going to be a Walking Ballista for 3. So that doesn't kill the Stonecoil Serpent. Do I care enough to counter it? No, I don't think so. All right, so let's see if we have a Grizzlebrand or if we have a... I guess the downside here is if I get a Grizzlebrand, I can't draw 14. But if I've countered it, I also can't draw 14, so... All right, so we put a Hullbreacher Horror in play. It's like a Tidespout Tyrant. I actually got a spell to hit off of the Memory's Journey, so I can always bounce any of these things, which is sweet. I also have a Yogwill, so I have black... I mean, they're dead. They're very dead. They are very, very dead. I have infinite mana right now with my Hullbreacher Horror, so... by playing a Mox and bouncing a Mox, I have an Opal, so I have infinite blue mana as well. So obviously I can just bounce all the things in their board, but if I play a Mox and bounce a Mox, play a Mox and bounce a Mox, play a Mox and bounce a Mox, then I make infinite mana. So then I can do, I don't know, Demonic for Brain Freeze, kill them. So in this instance, Hullbreacher Horror was possibly better than Grizzlebrand, actually, which is kind of cool. It's more of me trying something than it being the new thing to do. I mean, it is both the new thing to do and me trying something. But I mean, it's been good this whole day. Like, there was a time where it pitched a Force of Will and Grizzlebrand wouldn't have. Like, again, I don't think it's better than having a Sphinx or a Sarah's Emissary. It might be better than a Sphinx, but you tinker for Sphinx, so... Yeah, so we're boarding in Hercules, Claims, Targets, and Island, and we're taking out Fluster, Veil, Misstep, Narset. Yeah, I mean, I think Double Archon's very good in the controlling Oath deck. This is just a combo deck. Like, I don't plan to interact with my opponent. I plan to kill my opponent, which is a form of interaction, I guess. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep in Citadel. Could also bring in Needles, which are pretty decent against Ravager. I didn't bring them in round 1, but I or whatever the last time we played against Ravager was, because I was just so tilted. But I mean, I don't need a brain freeze because we're not playing combo kill here. Like, if we PO off, we're just gonna like play some fatties and it will be fine. And then I don't really feel like we need a Memories Journey either. It's just like not what we're doing here. Like, you just kind of a different deck. We're not on the play, so we won game 1. We're on the draw versus Shops. This is a great hand. What the fuck? All right, maybe we got some luck back now. Maybe we're rolling after being as unlucky as possible in round 1, or as bad as possible. Either way, you know, one or the other, or both, I guess. Now I'm feeling it. Like, I have to let the cage resolve in case the second one is a sphere, which it is. But I have a claim for the sphere, so a claim for the cage, so it's not a big deal. And now I even have another set of colorful mana, so things are looking up in the world. They could have second cage. That would be annoying. I think I'm gonna hit this cage now so they don't have Metalcraft. Not sure that will end up mattering, but hell of a hand, man. Hell of a hand. Sheesh. Man, I like this new metagame where everybody is playing Ravager Shops. It's a good time for me. Every deck that I've ever built in life has beat Ravager Shops, so, or at least like post nerfing Ravager Shops. So what we beat, what, 2 Ravager Shops and a Squee, and then obviously we lost our PO Mirror in round 1, so. I mean, I always register Hercules Recall combo decks, which are historically pretty decent since the printing of PO are always very good against Ravager Shops, so. Okay, here we go. Round 5. Nope, yeah, round 5 versus frequent viewer Sajad, who is always on HollowVine. Here, I don't have a Grizzlebrand, but I mean, I have turn 1 Oath and Flusterstorm backup, so it's a good hand. I had like a Raphael sleep schedule last night. I was up till 5 a.m. Sheesh. All right, my opponent has got a Rootwalla, a Vengevine, a Squee, I assume a Hollow one. Yeah, it's a good starting hand. I wish I had a Grizzlebrand to hit instead of a Hullbreacher, but it's actually really unfortunate that I can't hit Grizzlebrand here. I mean, Hullbreacher should still win. I hope. All right, so I need to save some Moxen to bounce some shit, right? How much am I taking? Okay. I am not sure this is getting there, by the way. I am not sure this is going to work. Hopefully, though, you know. I can't beat Mindbreak Trap plus Force, but I can beat exactly Force. I mean, if they have Mindbreak Trap and Force of Will and Squee and 2 Hollow One and Vengevine, then, like, I mean, no one was ever beating that, right? So 1, 2, I'm taking 14, and then I need to bounce everything. I'm not sure this is going to work, but we're about to see just wait, I have infinite mana though, right? So don't I win? I have infinite mana though, right? So I win the game. Wait, is Hullbreacher just broken? Because I have infinite mana, then I can demonic for a brain freeze. Holy shit, Hullbreacher better than Grizzlebrand confirmed? Wait, this is no! No! Oh, that is so bad for me. I was winning, and then I am now. I don't think I'm winning. I have to top deck Black Source. No, they hit a Wasteland. Yeah, you would normally do that. So I milled over Ancestral Opal, which is really unfortunate. I milled over Ancestral Opal, which is really unfortunate because I would have taken an Opal or an Ancestral. Come on, please help a guy out. Wait, so that does do it though, right? If they have no counter spells, because if I float a mana and then I play a Pearl and I bounce my Sapphire and then I PO and I have to hope they have nothing. I have to hope they have nothing. Oh wait, no, I have infinite mana, right? So I'm fine. I'm fine, right? I have infinite mana. Yeah. Wait. I have infinite mana, right? So it's fine. That just does it. I've actually never gotten to go off with the Hullbreacher horror before. So this is exciting to me. So now I can just PO. Is there any point in time that I'm supposed to do it, or can I just do it now? Does it matter? I guess I should get enough to draw 5 cards. Or draw 4 cards. Yeah, draw 5 cards instead of 4 by bringing back my Hullbreacher horror. So I need how much mana? I need... Oh, I forgot to make a mana that time. It can't be countered on the way back down, so I don't think it matters. So I need to have 4 mana for Paradoxical Outcome, 7 mana for Hullbreacher Horror. No, I can't bounce their whole board yet because I'm only because I'm looping. I'm just gonna get enough mana to recast my Hullbreacher Horror. Because I want to draw as many cards as I can. So I should bounce something of theirs now, and then PO. Because I have, I don't even know. I've never actually done this before. Oh, I forgot to fucking bounce something there. Oops. Okay, so now I have like 17 mana, right? So I can let this go and bounce a Vengevine. And then I can go PO on everything. And I can bounce, I don't know, a hollow one? Sure. They have a Mind Break trap. So if they have another Mind Break trap, I lose. I guess. Because I don't have a black mana. Because they wastelanded me. Let's go! Hullbreacher Horror is nasty. That's the first time I've ever done that. That's so cool. That is so cool. There's oh yeah. Yeah. That is awesome. This was so cool. It actually won in a spot that I think Grizzlebrand might have lost in. Wow. That was so dope. Okay. If I had bounced Hollow One instead of Vengevine, then I could have lived if they had a second trap. Why? I don't understand why. I have to bounce all of their creatures. I guess if I don't bounce Vengevine and I bounce every other creature, maybe, is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. It's fine. I'm over it. Let's bring in these creatures instead. And I'm going to bring in Crypt, and I'm going to bring in Needles and Soul Guide Lantern and Flusterstorm. And then, did I bring in Island last time? Does anyone remember? I take out all of this. I take out one of these, two of these, one of these, one of these, and one of these. Did I have enough bounces, though? I thought I was short on bounces, Fontaine. I think I was short on bounces. Maybe I only need to have, I need to bounce everything but one other 1/1. Nope, I don't want to take out Tinker because I have Sphinx of the Steel Wind to Tinker for. Did I board out anything else other than this? I mean, they are a Wasteland deck. You want, or you mean what's an island for in my sideboard? For when you play against like Mishra's Workshop Wasteland decks. And you need to have additional mana sources that don't get killed by Wasteland. With the Flusterstorm, I had enough. Okay, you might be right. You could. I wasn't really thinking about it, to be honest. I did the wrong thing. Like, I thought I was supposed to bounce Vengevine, but I was actually supposed to keep Vengevine in play, because it won't. That way, I don't have to worry about it coming back with haste. So like at some point, I like made the wrong choice and bounced the Vengevine when I should have bounced all of the other things instead. But I think this was what I did. I don't remember. I didn't count exactly how much bounce I had, but maybe I had just enough. Wow, that is a classic Veil of Summer hand if I've ever seen one. I think I'm gonna mulligan. This needs too many things to go right. I have the top deck basically, and I have so many good cards that I just brought in. I think I'm just gonna mulligan this hand. That one I will keep. Again, it's not even that good. Like a lot of these cards are kind of medium against my opponent, but It's just an ancestral hand. I think you're supposed to keep it. My opponent is at 5 cards at the moment. See if they go lower. Okay, so they kept a 5-card hand. Let's see what they've got for us here. I do need to like top into another blue source, but it should be okay. Like my opponent mulliganing helps a lot here. Hopefully they'll have like a slower draw and I can set up some of these, you know, set up a resolving ancestral. So they hit a Root Walla, they pitched a Noxious and a Negation. I'm not even sure they should have Noxious in their deck anymore versus me. They did put 5 power in play and played a Chalice on 0. Okay, well, I don't really have any game versus Chalice on 0, so we're going to have to play without Jet. They only have 1 card, though, so we can resolve Ancestral right now if we want to. I think we do want to. I don't know if I should play around Wasteland. Probably should. I mean, if they have Misstep, they have Misstep. Whatever. Like, I don't have enough time anymore. Okay, sweet, sure. Let's just Chalice check them. Ah, they had it. I mean, this is really good. Next time we're gonna go, you know, turn off their thing and then play another thing and turn off their thing, and we just need to be able to beat this on board, which we can't actually do. I didn't actually put in any like I didn't put in Nature's Claim. Maybe I should bring in Nature's Claim. I didn't really feel like we needed Nature's Claim, but I could bring in Nature's Claim. They didn't activate Bazaar, which means they don't care about Hollow One. Maybe they have a Force. We did draw the Oath. Interesting. If we Veil first, we can resolve the Mox. You're totally right. That was a play that I forgot about. I should definitely have held the Ruby in hand and gotten rid of the top, I guess. You're totally right. You're totally right. I actually think that's going to be the play right now, so I can have a very strong Tolarian Academy play. Because I think an Oath of Druid should be good enough. Yeah, no. I mean, chat's totally right. I just forgot about Chalice Veil. Just totally forgot about it. All right, I'm gonna... Unfortunate thing is if they do have a counterspell and they counter this Veil, I can't play anything this turn, but... I'm actually, like, pretty fucked if they have a counterspell. But I think it's the play. The upside is just so high. Yeah, so I would have had an additional Ruby, but I wouldn't have had a top, and I actually think top looks kind of good here. We're going to go Needle on Bazaar, and then play a Lantern and hit something, and then... I guess they could have Vigor. I didn't really consider that. I can't really do anything about Vigor. I just need to play all my artifacts so that I still have Tolarian Academy mana to play an Oath of Druids. I wonder if we're still supposed to pitch the Ruby. They just didn't activate Bazaar. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think I'm supposed to play everything, and then if both of these get Vigored, then so be it. But I think playing the top is better than, like, drawing with the Lantern. So next turn I have Oath with Flusterstorm backup unless I get Wastelanded, which should be game-winning, I would think. I can't imagine this is not game-winning. I don't think I need to spin or do anything here. See if they have Vigor. They did have Vigor, but I have Flusterstorm, so we're going to win. Wow, what a crazy game, actually. I mean, all of these are going away, right? Unless I want to draw one. Don't really want to draw any of these, but I guess I should have maybe floated. I don't know. Don't think it matters. They're all gonna have to go away. Maybe I could have drawn one with a lantern if I really wanted one, but so I get to go to 4 here, but then I flip either Sphinx or Emissary, and then I can only really lose to like Snapback or maybe Maze or something. I guess I could lose to Mill Out as well. Because I don't really want to take the extra damage. I don't think there's a big... Wow, I went down to 15 cards to get this Sphinx. Let me spin with my Jet. Angel was shuffled, so Angel was not on the bottom. Did I board out? I didn't board out Memory's Journey, right? Should I fetch now and find a better card? I guess I could always ponder. I think I would rather just look at new cards, right? Oh, I have no lands left. So I need to I'm an idiot. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to find Memory's Journey so I can put Yogwill Time Walk back in my deck. Or just have a Fluster so that I can't get snapbacked. Yeah, a Fluster is also going to be good enough. Okay, I mean... Aren't I kind of screwed now? Because I don't have mana. I can't really put the Sarah Emissary in play because I don't know where it is in my deck. I guess I can... Well, I can't ever have a Fluster now, but I could still try to find a Memory's Journey or at least the location of... If I can find and put the Sarah's Emissary at the top, I can flip into it. So I guess I'm just supposed to ponder and shuffle. Like I can't find a Flusterstorm. I could draw it though. And now I can spin. Demonic Forbidden Orchard. So I can draw both of these. Was there a Force left in my deck? So if I draw with Soul Guide Lantern and draw Demonic, and then I cast it off of Forbidden Orchard, they attack, and it's still the same. But I can get a Force. Maybe? I don't think I played this game very well. There were definitely some aspects that were nice, but yeah, so now I have a Force. And then I can't spin again, but all right, I can't flip over for Sarah's Emissary because if it's the last card, I will lose. So I have to just hold open the Sphinx with no ability to get snapped. So as long as they don't have Mazavith, if they're just playing Snapback, I think the Sphinx should just be lethal, and we can just play off of that. I guess I can because there's a Memory's Journey, right? So I can flip the Sarah Emissary. Because I can now counter a spell that would counter my Memory's Journey. So I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. I guess I can flip. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, that was kind of a crazy game. The Chalice on 0 was weird, and then the Veil let me play through the Chalice on 0, and I don't actually know if the Mox pitch was wrong, because I was just going to hand size no matter what, so I was like, oh, I'll be funny and I'll play it into the Chalice check. But, yeah, I like this play that I just made with, Ponder, Shuffle, Draw into Land, Demonic. That was cool. That was very cool. Yeah, so I should be able, no matter what here, to flip into an Emissary. It was on the top, by the way. I can do, should I do Creature or should I just do Instant? Because then they have nothing. I'm just gonna do Creature. I think that works fine. Oh no, it wasn't on the top. It was, they just hadn't gone in the, so I have 4 cards. So then I'm also gonna Memory's Journey on me for Time Walk, Yogg-Will, and Demonic. Hey, Jim. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. So that gives me 3 outs in 7 cards to win the game on the spot, right? I think. I actually targeted all the right things this time, you know? Unlike earlier rounds in this tournament. And then I draw, and it's the Oath of Druids and not either of those 2 things. Well, the good news, I guess, is if I name creatures on this, then Snapback can't win because it can only get rid of one of these things. So I guess it works out fine that way. This plays around like Mazavith better, I guess. I don't know if I could lose to Mazavith though. Probably not. All right. Wow, what a crazy match. I can't believe we won with the Hullbreacher horror after we got wastelanded. That was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. That was really cool. I'm really glad that Hullbreacher horror hasn't been disappointing, you know? Like, I thought I should try a Hullbreacher horror with my Grizzlebrand in my combo-oriented Oath deck and see if it worked out pretty well, and it actually has been better than Grizzlebrand a couple times. Like, I don't expect it to always be better than Grizzlebrand because Grizzlebrand's just a broken card, but like Hullbreacher horror just did the thing and it was sweet. So I'm like super happy with this. We also haven't played against any Pyroblast decks, but that's kind of just the meta right now. So it is what it is. Here we go, chat. Round 6 of 7 in the Vintage Challenge. We're up against a powerful controlling wizard. Typically plays like things like Jeskai and that kind of deck. See what we can do here. Yes. Keep. Question. Do we jam Tinker? I don't think so. I feel like we just Merchant Scroll for a Force of Will, right? This does play around Pyroblast and Flusterstorm and Daze. And doesn't play around Mindbreak Trap. Next turn, we Merchant Scroll. I could just Merchant Scroll for a Force of Will here, but then it doesn't play around Flusterstorm. I could just Vamp for a Lotus. So what if I like Vamped for a Lotus and then Tinker and then like got Merchant Scroll for Fluster and tinkered with double Flusterstorm backup? Merchant Scroll for a Flusterstorm. Oh, do I have enough mana for that? I get a Lotus. Merchant Scroll, 4 mana. No, it doesn't give me double. My mana-based situation's pretty bad. I'm like pretty worried about Wasteland from like a Rug or a Bug deck. So I'm like more incentivized to tinker right now because if this gets wastelanded, it's really, really bad for me. I think there are merits to a bunch of different lines, but I think I'm just gonna jam. I mean, if they have Forcible and Wasteland, like it's really bad for us, but they could still have Vigor and we could blank as well. Like those are all things that could happen. That's an interesting one. I'm probably supposed to go through this. Unlucky. All right, well, we bricked. So if they have Vigor or like a DAC or something, we're in pretty rough shape, but we've done a lot of bricking today. But we have a Vampiric Tutor, so if we get to go to another turn without being impeded, we should be in great shape. I guess they could have like a Collector Oof or a Leovold or an Oko. If this is Bug with double Mox and Oko on turn 1, like, good God. That would be so tilting. I guess I could have held this Veil if I thought they were going to be on Bug. Oh, that is 3 Moxen. Are they just going to PO kill me? I could have held the Veil if I thought it was going to be Bug. Oh, it's PO? Wow. Have I seen them play PO in a long time? They usually play control decks. I mean, if they have a PO, they probably win the game, so. If they have to pass, though, I can't imagine we would lose from this situation with a Vamp on top. Like a Vamp for a Time Walk and then anything. PO is scary, though. Like, I played a Citadel and I bricked. So if they just kill me, I do die. And they didn't have a Forcible, which means they have a lot of action. They're going to pass the turn. Interesting. All right, well, those are really good draws. Hullbreacher. Kind of annoying. I guess I can just Vamp for a Force. Vamp for a Red Elemental Blast. Yeah, I mean, my Bug deck could use a Red Elemental Blast. I don't have any interaction, so it has to be on the stack. So I could Vamp for a Hullbreaker Horror. I could just Fluster my Brainstorm. I could Fluster my Brainstorm and get... Well, the problem with the Hullbreaker Horror is I still have to play Flusterstorm. I would go to 9. No, I would not go to 9. Yeah, I would take 9 damage and go to 9, or I can take 7 damage and go to 11. I do get infinite mana after a Hullbreaker resolves, and then I can Merchant Scroll for a PO, or for a PO. Yeah, yeah, that also works. What if I just bounce the... What if I just let... What if I just Flusterstorm the Brainstorm and then bounce a Moxen? I don't need to bounce a Moxen. What if I just Flusterstorm the Brainstorm and then bounce the Hullbreacher Horror? Oh, they have their own Flusterstorm. Huh. So now I can just Flusterstorm the Brainstorm and win, right? So what if I just Fluster back here, hit this, and then, and my Brainstorm, I get a Hullbreacher Horror. I don't even care about the Hullbreacher. I just Merchant Scroll for a Brain Freeze and win. I think. Second target, third target, sixth target, and Brainstorm. Oh, Bullish Citadel should have absolutely never seen print. Wow, I think this Hullbreacher Horror is sweet, man. It's so cool. Because it has flash. Wow, it's so cool. I love it. I don't know, man. I love this. This is so cool. Oh, Tidespout Tyrant could not have done that, though. Tidespout Tyrant doesn't have flash. Also, I could have bounced the spell. Maybe was there a point where I could have bounced the spell? I don't know. It didn't need to have flash, but it had flash, chat, and it couldn't be countered. It only cost 7. It's cheap. Money? I don't know. Who cares? Who needs things to fly? Uncounterable, big deal. Okay, so against PO, I'm going to bring in a Flusterstorm, and I'm going to board out an island, and then I'm going to call it a day. Maybe I'll bring in Claim or Hercules. I don't know. I don't really think that's the way that these mirrors are supposed to be fought. Excuse me. Supposed to be fought. What just happened? Oh, hey, Eric. I hope you had a good stream. I think I'm just going to bring in the Flusterstorm. I mean, they have dead draws too. They have Urza Sagas in their deck. No, we probably need to win both of our matches to play top 8. It's a 7-round event. We probably have to win both rounds. This hand does a lot of nice things. So my opponent has mulligan to 4 cards. Did you win, Slasher? Slasher can't 4-2. Let's go. All right, let's see what my opponent has on their Mola 4. Ancestral? Tinker? Nothing? So here, what I'm going to do... Okay, they do have Ancestral. Fair enough. That's the power of the 1 to mulligan for you. Okay. Here, what I'm going to do is Mox, Pearl, Soul Ring. Mox, Pearl, Soul Ring. Maybe I'll just Time Walk. So I could go Pearl, Soul Ring, Strand, Time Walk, Top, Vamp. And I can't Vamp for Oath. Yeah, I could go... No, I could go Orchard, Vamp for Oath, Vamp for Tinker. I have a top, so I should probably Vamp for Tinker. Yeah, I should probably just Vamp for Tinker. Hope they don't have a Pyroblast. I also have a spin for a force as well. Yeah, I think Tinker is better than Oath with a top in play. They have Pyroblast? All right, well, I guess Orchard was better. I didn't think they had... I thought they were blue-black. Well, shit just got real. Okay. I mean, I thought they were playing blue-black. There was no reason to suspect they were playing Pyroblast. Who's playing Pyroblast in PO? That's crazy. I guess they could maybe not be on PO and just be on like a Renee deck. Does Renee play Repeal? So unfortunately, my Narset is really bad against spirit tokens. Okay, maybe it's just the Renee deck. All right, so I'm going to bring in Nature's Claims if we play game 3. I think I'm just going to play this Narset, though. It's going to live for a turn, so it gets to Impulse, stops them from drawing. I think it's worth it. I mean, if I had thought they were on Pyroblast, I definitely would have gone for the Oath line. Mental misstep, you're just a... The mental misstep was 1 card down on my spin. That is... Yes, fantastic. Fantastic. No, I saw Brainstorm and Opal, so it had to be 1 card down. So I think I take an Opal and then I spin with my top and see if I can find a force or something. Something like that. Or like a PO or something, I guess. An Oath of Druids. Have I played a land this turn? I haven't, so I could draw into... Can't draw... Can I draw far enough? So if I draw into... If I play Opal, draw into Academy, cast Ponder, and then Oath. Play an Opal, draw in... float a green, draw into Academy, yeah. And then I get a Grizzlebrand. I have black, black, black. So I'm okay with losing my top. No, I'm not okay with losing my top. I would rather, yeah, I'd rather take my top. Yeah. Okay, so my opponent has to kill me this turn. And they can't play PO or draw cards. So they have to Tinker or Vamp right now. They have to find Key, Vamp, or Key, Demonic, Tinker, something like that. I don't think they're on PO anymore. I think they're just on Grixis things. Maybe they are on PO. I don't know. Yeah, what's up, Forests? All right, baby. Grizzle boy. Draw naturally. Draw 7. Oh my god, what if I get Hullbreachered? I can just draw again at least. All right, whatever. You have one? Okay. I think we're good then. I got a little scared there. I think I can play an Orchard. It doesn't matter very much. Do I want to pick up my Oath? Yeah, I don't think I need this. Trying to win the game this turn. Yeah, I would have drawn 7 again. So is this a Pyroblast or a Flusterstorm, maybe? A Hardcast Force of Will. Okay. Yeah, I would have drawn 7 again. It would have been pretty bad, though. Like, it would have been really bad still. Like, I would have drawn those 7, and I'm not really sure how well it's going to go. It might still win just because I have a Grizzlebrand in play, but could also be pretty bad, right? The game should be over now. I do agree with that statement. Yeah, my opponent mulled to 4. So that is true. My opponent did mull to 4. They did get an Ancestral, though, so some value. Wow. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. So if we had a Hullbreacher Horror instead of a Grizzlebrand, would we have won on the spot there? We would have, right? Because we would make infinite mana and then we would have infinite impulses. Right? Or no, we didn't have the Moxen, right? So we would have to have drawn an artifact mana. So if we had a Hullbreaker Horror, if we drew an artifact mana, we would have been able to make infinite blue mana with Opal and then have infinite impulses with Narset. Yeah, we would have to have drawn... No, we would have had to have drawn a Moxen. We would have had to have drawn a Moxen. Or like a spell that found us a Moxen or a top or something. Hullbreaker would have had a lot of ways to win the game with an Narset in play there, I think. Well, I mean, it would have been completely different. Like, we knew we were hitting Grizzlebrand because of the Ponder. I'm just saying, if we like randomed into a Hullbreaker, would we have still won the game? And it kind of looks like we would. So, well, we wouldn't have had top. Well, depends on if no, we wouldn't have had top because we would have lost it to Oath. So. Yeah, Soul Ring only makes colorless. We would have had to have this Mox Opal turned on, and for it to be turned on, we would have needed another piece of artifact mana, or an artifact of some kind. Okay, here we are, round 7, Vintage Challenge, the first Vintage Challenge of 2022, 7 rounds, because we had 73 players join. I am the worst X1 at Breakers. I am paired up against fellow streamer Doomwake, who I know is playing Dredge. Let's see what happens here. Oh boy, how do we feel about this hand? Probably pretty good, I would think. So we would start by time walking, and then if we hit a land, we can scroll for an Ancestral. If we don't hit a land, I mean, we don't even have to hit a land, we can hit a Moxen as well. Doesn't have anything right now, but it has a lot of pieces. I think this is a keep. So this deck has a little bit of a different Dredge matchup than my other my other Oath deck, because I'm just playing like mono combo. So I actually have like another way to kill my opponent where I just have Tinker and I have a PO. And then I also have like Tinker for Sphinx and I have Sarah, and then I do still have a ton of Graveyard Hate, but it's different Graveyard Hate. It's not Leyline of the Void, which is worth noting. We have worse Graveyard Hate. So the reason I'm playing like Soul Guide Lanterns instead of Leyline of the Void is because I'm playing PO, and it's better to have artifacts for Opal and for picking up. So it actually ends up being a different kind of Dredge matchup. I don't think it's technically a worse Dredge matchup because we have like a lot of combo, which is really nice against Dredge. But it is different. So what I think I'm going to do here is just go Time Walk to try to give us extra shots at hitting Metalcraft. And I'm going to not play Opal just in case that would tempt them to Vigor me. I did lose my flip, but I did hit a Flooded Strand. So now I have multiple options. I have just Cast Ponder with a fetch land up. I have Scroll. I'm going to take a bunch of damage because I took 3 from my Mana Crypt, and I'm going to take 2 from Spirit Token. I think I'd like to Ponder and then see what we find. Mystical. So Mystical. Mystical for Tinker from 15 or 12 life. Okay, sure. I'm a little weak to like grief plus force. I'm also just like weak to vigor because I'm going for a citadel line. All right, so I mean, if they have double interaction, I'm in trouble here. I'm gonna use my mystical, obviously, but is there any way for this to be better for me than just tinker and pray? What if I go Yogwill? Time Walk? No? All right. Tinker and pray, sure. I do lose this game if they have double interaction. There's just nothing I can do about it, I think. I kind of needed to draw slightly better off that ponder, if I had to guess. But what's the guy to do? I want to flip this time, though. I guess I could technically Merchant Scroll for a Flusterstorm for another turn, but that seems worse than just tinkering off this Opal and hoping it works. Nope. Oh, it did work? Okay. They could still have Vigor. That's a brick, but I get to play Merchant Scroll. PO for 1 for 4 life. Probably worth. Or I could scroll and see if they have Vigor, and then I could pick up 2 in response. I think that's worse. Okay, they have nothing. So if they have nothing, I need to live through a turn, and then I can Oath into a Grizzlebrand or a Hullbreacher. So have I already, I mean, I've already ran into Mindbreak Trap, right? I've already run into Mindbreak Trap, so is it worth playing out this Mana Crypt to scroll? I think the answer is no. Well, I have a force, I guess, but then I would go down too low, I think. So I think I just play my Oath. And then I have a lethal kill if I have a Hullbreacher. No, I don't have a lethal kill if I have a Hullbreacher yet. I could get Creeping Shield out of this game as well. I did get Creeping Shield out of this game. Wow. Okay. I mean, fuck. They hit 2 Creeping Chills. I'm gonna go to 1 right now. So I have to hope they don't hit another Creeping Chill. For 5. They missed. Okay, so I'm going to 1, and I'm either getting a Hullbreacher Horror or... They also have double therapy. They have 1 therapy, and they know I have a mana crypt, so they can take my mana crypt, which is really annoying. Okay. But I mean, I don't die to my mana crypt, so it's probably for the best. I didn't play it. Okay, so I want to hit Hullbreacher Horror and not Grizzlebrand? No. I don't think anything is good here. Oh, they know Scroll from Grief, so maybe they just take Scroll then. I actually don't know how I win here without top decking something very good. I don't think Grief or Grizzlebrand is going to get there, so they did take Scroll. And then they played Chalice on 0? I guess we lose. This is pretty unfortunate. Do I feel like I got unlucky? I don't think lifelink will save us. All they do have to do is hit another thing. Okay, so I Grizzlebranded into... Oh, he had a hollow one to cast last turn and didn't hit it. So I did hit a Memories Journey. So I could Memories Journey back the Icarids. Is a kind of an interesting play. I'm going to just naturally draw here. Why can't we play this Mox? It's my upkeep right now. I'm trying to determine if I wanted to Memories Journey before I drew. Okay, I'm going to naturally draw here. I can't play anything, but I have a Grizzlebrand, so if I just Memories Journey, target them on Icarid, or should I... Am I dead to these Icarids? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 block. So I have to get rid of the Icarids. So Icarid, and a Dredger. There's a 1 Dredger in here, so I can't even get the Stinkweed Imp because they dredged that last. I'm gonna die to... Should I go to their turn and see if they'll activate before Icarid so I can hit the thing as well? I think I should. Like, if they activate in response to the Icarids, then I can hit the... I can hit the Treeping Chill as well. Okay, they didn't do it, so that's a smart play by them. I think it's like worth taking the risk. Oh, but now they get to eat the thing that I go for. So maybe that was worse. Because now they can activate and hit the thug that I'm targeting. Yeah, this was worse. This was worse. I still have to dodge like 15 cards, any number of chills and 15 cards, but I have to get rid of both Icarids or the Grizzlebrand is like just not enough. Yeah. Maybe that was an overly ambitious play by me. No, this is winning in. This is not top 8. Yeah, maybe that was an overly ambitious play. If my opponent doesn't hit a Creeping Chill, I do think we have a chance to win this game. So that was a miss. Wow, if I had hit on my turn, they missed again, and then they discard Stinkweed Imp, and they have 5 looks. They have 5 looks for 1. If I had done it on my turn, I would not have lost this game. I would have... Oh, I would exactly survive one Icarid. Okay, then I completely misplayed. I misplayed. I should have hit one Icarid and both Dredgers. Wow, I survived anyways. Oh my god. You should be able to counter the Creeping Shells with Memory's Journey. Stream is dead? What happened? Stream doesn't look dead. Okay, so I just... Oh my god. Okay, so... Can I win the game, though, if I, like, flip over too many cards here? So I do have a Yogg-Will, but I don't have a Journey anymore. I could not put a Hullbreacher Horror in play, and I would be able to draw 7 cards, but I want to be able to bounce Chalice of the Void. Can I win with a draw 7? Well, the way I win is Brain Freeze, so... No? No. The answer to that question is no. Oh my god, how can I win? Because I don't have Tendrils, I have Brain Freeze, and I need to draw Yogg-Will. Holy crap. I don't know. I have a feeling this could go badly for me. I think I have to flip a Hullbreacher. Please don't. Oh! Wow, what a good draw. It was right underneath? I think we win now. I think we win now. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. Because I go to 1, right? I go to 7. Oh my god. Maybe Hullbreacher Horror is just good. Maybe Hullbreacher Horror is just good. I don't know. Maybe. It can't actually bounce the freeze because it can only bounce spells you don't control. So I thought I could bounce the freeze, but I can't bounce the freeze. So wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, we beat Dredge in game 1. We get to bring in different targets. We get to bring in a bunch of hate. And we get to bring in a Flusterstorm. And then we take out the other 2 targets. We take out the Citadel. Maybe we don't take out the Citadel. Not sure about the Citadel. And then we take out Island. And we take out Narset on the draw. And we take out Brain Freeze. And we take out... We do. I'm thinking we're gonna take out this Citadel. And I'm gonna take out this. Am I gonna take out the Yogwill? I usually like Yogwill. Take out this Merchant Scroll. Take out a top. And take out a Mental Misstep. Okay, so we kind of transform into a very different deck here. Theoretically, a Serra's Emissary should be able to beat my opponent's entire deck. Sphinx of Steel wins usually pretty close as well. So we're playing a two-pronged attack where we have PO combo, but we also have Oath into Fatty and a pile of hate. So I think this should be a good chance. We got two chances. I actually think that even if we beat Devin, they probably breakers in. So we might both be in top 8 as well. We'll see what happens. Or I could just lose 2 in a row. It's Dredge. Dredge is a really powerful deck. This hand looks like a keep to me. Though the Serra's Emissary is a little sus. Maybe it's not a keep because if we get griefed, it's so bad if we get griefed. Is it so bad if we get griefed? We still probe into Brainstorm. Or I guess if we get griefed, maybe he would take Sapphire. This is an interesting hand. This is a very interesting hand. I don't know if this is a keep. I don't know if this is a keep. Dredge can go wide against Sphinx. I think this is a keep. It's a greedy keep, but I think it's a keep. Yeah, but I mean, we can hit land or Mox off probe or draw step, right? Because if we hit land or Mox, we can play it off of, you know, Needle, and then I think this is good. I don't think this hand is like crazy or anything, but we're gonna run into Mindbreak Trap pretty badly here, but I kind of want to know if they have a counter. They have a Mindbreak Trap. Oh shit. I shouldn't have probed, man. Please don't trap this. 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 Fuck. Okay. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have probed. Maybe I shouldn't have probed. No, I think like there's a legitimate chance they don't Mindbreak Trap the Brainstorm. I think this is still a winning position if I hit a land drop. That is technically a land drop. I mean, I have a Flusterstorm. I'm going to 7. I just need to hit a mana source. I wanted to be able to hit land drops and play spells. Like, I don't think it's the end of the world if my Brainstorm gets Mindbreak Trap there. Oh, I'm going to 1? Never mind, I guess I'm dead. I was just thinking Tinker Sphinx on the next turn here, chat, but I might get Icarated. I just need to hit a land, right? And play Tinker Sphinx. Like, I should still win with Tinker Sphinx here, right? 2 bridges? Maybe not. Actually, I don't think that does win. It's fine. I missed anyways. Yeah, maybe just too greedy. I don't really think playing Brainstorm at a different time was good. I mean, they had a solid draw, right? They also drew into a Vigor. All right, on the play. Game 3. Winning in. Yep. It's not only for Dredge, no. But it's a lot about Dredge. Double Serum Powder. Mulligan to 6. This is a very good hand. So I can get Vigor trapped here, but what's a guy to do? I mean, I had to make this play no matter what, so. So if their starting hand is Bizarre, Green card, Vigor, Trap, it's pretty bad for me. Or if their hand is Bizarre, 2 green cards, 2 Vigors, but... Should we been playing fetch to play around Wasteland? No, I'm countering their Wasteland at end of turn here. I said I'm countering their Vigor at end of turn here. Yeah, maybe I should have played around Wasteland fetch. I could have done that, yeah. I don't really know why I didn't do that. I probably should have. If we lose, it's my fault. Yeah, I should have played a fetch land so that they couldn't play Wasteland and have Vigor. So their hand, if their hand was like Bizarre, Wasteland, Vigor. Yeah, that's true. It was a misplay. Am I supposed to just play this Lantern? Am I supposed to cycle this Lantern? I think I can just wait. Yeah, but I'm not playing PO until I have 5 mana anyways. Unless they have Vigor me this turn, I guess. Yeah, I guess we can just play this Lantern. They're going to force it? Sure, resolves. Great success. They have Force of Will and Force of Vigor? Okay. Exciting. They have 3 cards in hand. Demonic. I think I'm just getting another Flusterstorm. Though Fluster plays around Grief really bad for me. Who thought that we would top 8 this tournament after round 1? Did anyone think we were going to top 8 this tournament after round 1? I died of Magic Online being a jerk. Oh my lord. I thought we had no shot. I thought we were going to bed. 0-2 dropping. I thought we were 0-2 dropping going to bed. I wanted to lose round 2 so badly so I could go to bed. Oh, man. I don't... So, am I supposed to get Tinker here, chat? I don't know if you are. Am I supposed to get Tinker here? I was thinking about things like Yogwill. Maybe that doesn't hold up Flusterstorm, so it's not very good. My initial assumption is I was just going to tinker a Sphinx. Yeah. All right. Wow. So we are locked in for top 8 along with some powerful wizardry. We've got Pete Ward probably playing PO. We've got Slasher. I don't know if he's still scamming with the cast. Could be. Bart beat Dark Ritual Doomsday. So I don't know what happened there. Did you just destroy this player? And then, so we have, I don't know if Bart is on Tinker still or went back to Doomsday. We know that Dark Ritual Doomsday is not playing Doomsday. They're probably playing Squee. Then we have Pio from David. And probably this player's coming in as well. I'm not sure what they're on. Usually aggro stuff. So our top 8 is got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then probably 6, 7, and then maybe Devin or Canister. That's a stacked top 8. We dodged the Montolio and the Falcon Eye on our way up here, so it's gonna be a hard top 8. And it's gonna be a lot of Bazaar, right? Or it's a lot of PO and a lot of Bazaar. 1, 2 to Bazaar, multiple PO. Looks like 3 PO, 2 Bazaar. Probably another Tinker. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. We'll see you in the top 8. Okay, here we are. The very first vintage top 8 of 2022. We have an absolutely stacked top 8 with multiple Mox vintage champions. Two of the highest win rate vintage players on Magic Online with DM and Montolio. This Dark Ritual guy has been killing it all day long. Dave. Thank you, Devin. I'm sorry that the breakers did not go your way. We had a pretty fun match, though. So I hope you had a great stream, and I hope you have a good 2022. Yeah, what I said, stacked top 8. Right now, we're up against Fanoop, Pete Ward, known for playing random mono blue PO decks. Let's see what we have here. I have a Force of Will, which I like a lot against anything Fanoop is doing, but I only have double black for the Citadel. Unfortunately, my deck isn't very good at casting Citadel. I don't have Urza Saga, so I have to have like double Underground Sea plus Opal or plus Jet, and that's just currently not on the cards. I do really like keeping Force of Will against PO, but I think this hand is just not strong enough to justify that. So we're going to mulligan. I mean, this hand is pretty good if we draw a blue card, because I don't have Tinker with Force, so... All right, here's your 5-island PO deck. PO mirrors are notoriously not fun, in my mind. A lot of high rolling and jamming and hoping it works kind of things. There's some leverage to be gained based on timing windows. But for the most part, who has more powerful cards and gets to play them at first is usually the one who is favored. But this hand is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Like, we're just going to go hopefully draw a blue card, and then we will go Mystical for Tinker. And as long as they don't hold up Flusterstorm, we'll just jam Tinker with Force of Will back up. And that will be our adventure. Let's see what they have for us here. Anything more? That's a lot of more. That is a lot of more. Now they can PO. They'll probably... I think I would jam on their turn if I were them, so I don't have to play around Flusterstorm. They have enough to replay another PO as well, so probably don't have PO. We drew Mana Vault, which is pretty sus because it means we don't really have good options anymore. I don't have to worry about Wasteland, so I can just play Tropical Island, but I have to probably just hold up Force of Will here and pass, and I probably don't even tutor. We'll have to see what happens. Because next turn I could technically hold up Hardcast Force of Will. Doesn't really get us very close, though. Like, if they end of turn PO here, I have to counter it, and then I'm in deep shite. Yeah, I mean, my opponent could just go PO with Flusterstorm backup here. I guess I do have a lot of mana now with Manifold, so maybe I would be able to pay for it, depending on their sequencing. I don't like my hand. I think my hand is just too underpowered, but I don't think mulliganing more was correct. I kind of just wanted to find blue card off the top. All right, what do you got for us? Narset. Man. I think that's a must counter. I think that's a must counter in this matchup, which is really bad because I have no more action, but I just think this is a must counter. So now they have 3 cards, no additional lands. I need to hit something that's good. We're not in a good spot. Like, an Oath might be good enough, but it might be too slow. A PO is probably reasonable. A Force is not bad. I don't hate that draw. It's not the best, but it at least is playable. I can beat another play. I won't be able to beat a Flusterstorm now if they have PO Fluster. They don't have any more lands, so they have 4 cards of action, or 3 cards of action at least. And they probably don't have their own Force if Narset didn't get resolved, I would think, but... Merchant Scroll. Yeah. I could counter this, but... I think I'm okay with tapping out on my turn. I can still play an Oath after I tap out, so I don't think it's a huge deal. It also means they can't Flusterstorm. I don't think this is a must counter, but I'm going to counter it. Interesting. Do they have Force? They did have Force. So they did not believe that Narset was important. That, or they drew Force of Will for this turn, I guess. That could be possible as well. All right, so they used a Force to push through 3 random cards. Unfortunately, 3 random cards is probably very detrimental unless they draw 3 lands. So I'm looking to just draw Oath of Druids and hope that they draw 3 lands off Ancestral. That's not a bad draw. They pitched a repeal. They're playing a mono blue. I hate this game. They're playing a mono blue PO deck with 4 Urza Saga, and instead of playing Dress Downs, they're playing 4 Repeal to bounce constructs, which is a very Pete Ward monstrosity, to say the least. So, unfortunately, my opponent drew a mental misstep off of this Ancestral and ruined my life. It's okay. I do think that, like, we've been behind this entire game, and it's kind of how it felt like it was going to go. Yeah, nice. Snapcaster Mage, Snapcaster Ancestral. Yeah, Fanoop is Pete Ward. Yeah, I don't think we have very many shots in this game, but it's okay. It's just kind of how the PO mirror goes. They are very volatile, is how I would say. I don't even think I have a lot of, like, super strong answers for the mirror. I think I'm going to bring in a Hercules and maybe a Claim, because I do know that they're on Saga as well, but I'm not really sure. Just have to see. I mean, if this is a PO, I will just scoop it up. It should be an MTG bot overlay thing. There wasn't very much I could have done in this game. Like I played the cards I had, and I think I played them in the spots that made sense to me, and my opponent just had better cards, which is just unfortunately that's like a lot of the PO mirror. I don't think that a vintage would. Sheesh. I don't think vintage is a super. If PO was the #1 best deck and played it by a large number of people, I don't think that's a super healthy thing for vintage. Thankfully, that hasn't happened too many times. And the times that it has happened, it was pretty exploitable. PO decks are a lot different now than they were the last time that was true. So, all right, I've been bested. So we're boarding up against a mono blue Saga PO deck. Let's go take a quick look at it so that you guys can see what we're playing against. I know what most of the cards are in the deck, but it's a cool deck for sure. Let's go. So here's, hello? Okay, so here's the deck. 5 islands, 4 Urza Saga, 4 PO, 4 repeal. Like, this deck is got Saga, but it's still going to be pretty rough against any Pyroblast deck. They're going to bring in probably Cage, Fluster. We'll see. I'm thinking we're going to bring in Flusterstorm, and I'm going to bring in Hurkyl's Recall so I can find it off of Merchant Scroll. And I'm going to bring in... I'm thinking about bringing in Claims, but I'm not sure yet. And I'm going to board out an island because my deck operates on 12 lands perfectly fine. Doesn't need an island. I don't know what else I'm taking out. So that's tough. I guess I could take out maybe some of the slow tutors. Could take out Mental Mist. I don't want to take Mental Mist if they're playing 3 tops now. Wow, they're playing 3 tops now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know like what other cards I can take out of this deck. I could maybe trim on an Oath. Maybe I just trim on an Oath and I bring in a Fluster and an Island and call it a day. Or trim on an Oath and an Island and bring in a Fluster and a Hurkyl's. What if I like cut Grizzlebrand and just play the Hullbreacher Horror? It's probably not good. I kind of like the Grizzlebrand. I don't really want to cut this Oath. Maybe I'll just cut Mystical then. All the cards are kind of important. I think Will's good. A lot of times, both players will counter each other's spells, and then the person who has Will gets to do something good. Obviously, I'm the person with Will. I mean, maybe it could just be Ponder. Is Ponder better than Mystical Tutor? I don't really think it is. It's kind of a weird one. I don't know if the last time I've ever trimmed a Ponder. Thoughts on the best vintage grinders? Well, that information is all public. You can find it. In the dashboard, I have, win rates and top 8s and everything. Typically, people will point you to Discover N, Montolio, DM4X, those kind of people. Like, this is why I didn't want to cut any Oaths. So this only gets me a Hullbreacher Horror, but you don't want to cut Opals in the PO mirror because it's all about speed. So it's pretty rough to cut Opals in the PO mirror. Used to play a lot more Paper Magic. I'm going to keep this hand. I think it's worth it to just slam an Oath on turn 1 with an Orchard and move on from there. Like, this is going to draw a Force of Will if they have a Force of Will. So they didn't have a Force of Will, which is like also like, so getting my Oath not forced is a good thing, but also a bad thing because that means they don't have a Force, which means they have all action. So unfortunately, I don't have a Grizzlebrand to hit. I only have a Hullbreacher Horror. However, I could always like Mystical for a Brainstorm and put the Grizzlebrand back in my deck if I needed to. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they could play a bunch of mana and use their 4 repeals on an Oath. That is totally true. That is a power of playing the deck that they're playing. They're playing 4 repeals, which are not a standard card you see. So, like, I'm going to hit a Hullbreaker Heart here, but is that even going to be good enough? I'm not really sure. I do get, like, a bounce a spell with my Mystical Tutor, so that's kind of cool. I don't think our prospects are super high, honestly. If I had to pick a deck in this matchup, I would definitely be choosing my opponent's deck. My deck is more for a different metagame than like playing a straight combo PO deck. Like, I would consider my opponent's deck pretty tuned to play a PO mirror, where my deck I wouldn't consider tuned to play a PO mirror. So maybe that's on me for playing it. I mean, but we didn't play. How much PO did we play against in this tournament? We played against 1, 2. We played against 2 PO decks in this tournament, actually. 2 other PO decks, 2 Ravager decks, 2 Bizarre decks, 3 Bizarre decks, 3 Bizarre decks, 2 PO decks, 2 Ravager decks. That's a pretty decent metagame to be playing just standard PO in, actually. My opponent passed? Or are they just attacking first? Probably just attacking first. I mean, Ravager Dredge PO is a decent metagame to play a mono, like, mirror PO deck, so. I don't know. It's just doing powerful Tinker things. Is this a Karn? What is this? An Urza? A Karn? A Merchant Scroll for... So they could Merchant Scroll for a repeal and repeal their Spirit. They could Merchant Scroll for a repeal, play a Mox, and they did get a repeal. Are they going to repeal their Spirit? Wow. Cool. So I don't get an Oath trigger, because Oath only triggers when I have less creatures than my opponent, or whoever has less creatures gets an Oath trigger. It doesn't go on the stack unless it exists at the start, and it only resolves if it's still true at the end of the trigger, intervening if. So my opponent didn't play a super solid start, but they just prevented me from getting a Hullbreaker Horror, which is fine. Nope, that's just not how Oath works. Like, you just will not get a trigger if you do not have anything in play on the beginning of the upkeep. So my question becomes, do I Mystical for Ancestral? Or Mystical for Time Walk? I just don't know if Mysticaling for Time Walk is good when I know that the thing that I'm getting is a Hullbreaker Horror. You know? That's my only concern. Like, I have to draw something good after. But if I draw a land or a Mox, I get to PO. So I think it's worth the risk. You want to go Ancestral? I don't think so. I think I want to go Time Walk. Let's get Mental Misstep, I guess. Isn't Brainstorm almost certainly better? All right, well, maybe I'll just draw one of them instead. Another Oath. All right, I'm going to play the other Oath to play around repeal on my Oath. Also, I could mill my entire deck and then Yawgmoth's Will back, but I don't have enough mana for that, so I don't know if we'll do that. Like, there's a line here where I could mill till I hit Hullbreaker, mill until I... Wait. That might actually work. So if my opponent has no counter spells, I could mill until I hit Hullbreaker. No, that would have to have... Yeah, and then I could make a... Oh, no, but I would have to make a token, so that doesn't work. Never mind. There are just like some lines where you mill over your whole deck and then you Nature's... you Memory's Journey back a Yawgwill, and then you Yawgwill your whole graveyard. But that's really risky. My opponent could easily still have Force of Will. Yeah, but then I'll be out of mana to play Yawgwill. I have a little bit of a mana crunch in this game, so... Well, I'm not sure on mana if I could do it without using my Orchard, because Hullbreacher would bounce back my Emerald. It's like the whole, so I would Memory's Journey using the Emerald. No, that still makes me short on mana. No, yeah. I would Hullbreacher back the Emerald I would Memory's Journey and would Hullbreacher back the Emerald, and then I would have 3 mana to Yagua. But the problem is I won't have 2 creatures to trigger Oath twice. I do want to mill over a Memory's Journey no matter what, so that I have an Oath, a Hullbreacher trigger at will. Because if I don't hit a land or a Moxen, I don't have any triggers. If I hit a Moxen, though, I have infinite mana and then a PO, which is really sweet. Yeah. If I can hit a Moxen as my first draw, I can make infinite mana and then PO for like 4. Or maybe 5, because Hullbreacher can come back to my hand. If I have blue mana, I pick up Hullbreacher, and then I can try to combo from there. Can't I use Orchard in response? Yes, I can use Orchard in response, but I will not have enough mana to cast Yagwil, is the problem with that line. OP Pete is known for deep tanks. So yeah, that's just true. That's just a true statement. My opponent is known for going in the tank. I am not known for going in the tank. I just don't shut up, and so sometimes I talk forever. The good news is I just don't shut up. So you get to listen to me talk about possible lines while our opponent has been in the tank for 4 minutes. Yeah, so I mean, we have a lot of things that win the game if we get Oath triggers. If my opponent finds another repeal, like all they need to do is find a repeal, and then this can get a Grafdigger's Cage. If my opponent found one of the 3 remaining repeals, I actually will not be able to Oath this game. It looks like they did. So they found the Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. All right, so now we're just trying to go for a PO win. I mean, I do have a Hurkyl's Recall to get rid of this Grafdigger's Cage, but I can't flash things back, so there's just no reason to cage here. We're just going to say no, and hope to draw a Moxen. All right, so not great, but it's not over. So they could get a second cage if they had one. I would assume they don't have one. I'm surprised. So they must have spun the top and saw land Grafdigger's Cage. They must have saw land Grafdigger's Cage, not had another land, and then had to draw the fetch land with the top to get the cage. That must be what happened, which means my opponent doesn't have more lands in their hand, which means I'm in danger. Wait, did they just tinker with a cage out? So they could repeal their cage and then use Citadel. I think I'm willing to risk that. My opponent is very good. My opponent is one of the better Tinker players on the platform. Could it be Vault Key? You mean this gets Time Vault and then they play a Saga? Well, they already played a land this turn. I'm gonna let this happen. It's a little risky, but I'm gonna let this happen. Yeah, they have Vault Key. Okay. I mean, do you have a Buster? It might just be good. I need to draw something good. I have to do these every upkeep, which is annoying. I only boarded in one answer to Cage. I didn't think more than one was right. We have a ton of tutors and stuff. That's really fucking bad. Oh, that has got to be the single worst draw in my entire deck, so. I mean, it's not even good if I put it in play because there's a Graph Digger's Cage. I don't feel like we've been very lucky in this matchup. We need to draw better cards than we have. It is what it is. I could. It doesn't actually bin. It goes to the top and then I draw it though. So it's not very good for me. I mean, PO is not a bad draw, but I just need another mana source. And my opponent gets to use too many things here. I think it's the end. It's just, like I said, I don't think our deck is very good in the mirror, especially a mirror where my opponent has 4 repeals. 4 is a lot of repeals. Maybe it's just good, though. All right, so my opponent's going to hold open Saga here. And they found a card they wanted because they didn't fetch away, which is scary. See what they've got for us. Ancestral Recall. They're too good. They're too good. They have hard cast force. Sheesh. Sheesh. Can't deal. Okay. That is very on brand. This is what happens when I register this stupid card. How many games did I actually win with PO today? How many games did I actually win with PO today? None, right? Did I win any games with PO? Or did I win all of my games with Oath and Hullbreaker? I think we won 0 games with PO. We should just play combo Oath, but cut those stupid POs from the deck. I mean, PO pitched a Force of Will a lot today. That is that we can't we can't stress enough how many POs were pitched to Force of Will today. Cut POs for repeals. There we go. Be pretty good here. I mean, this deck might want a repeal anyways, just because it's a Merchant Scroll target, but I mean, I do think that like we drew a lot worse than my opponent is. You know, it's Magic. You have to draw well. We did not draw very well. We are very dead. Very, very, very dead. Look at them repealing things. Slasher, Pete, Doomsday, or Squeed, and Montolio. Oh, boy. That's a thing you could do, Slasher. You could start a stream up right now, and I know 500 viewers who want to watch a semifinals. You could have it all. My empire of dirt. Hey chat, how was your New Year's? What's going on? Anyone have any interesting happen? Anything interesting happen? Kept a Soul Guide Lantern in versus me. Brutal. Time Walk? Yep. GG's. Well, we got completely demolished here. Not the strongest set of draws. Pretty tough for us to win that one. But overall, quite a good stream, I would say. We lost round 1 to a Magic Online interface popping out of nowhere. And we actually recovered pretty well. We won all of all the remaining matches in the tournament and ended up in the top 8 with our cool Oath Brew. Obviously then falling to the powerful Wizards. Pete Ward. Stellar top 8 right here. Slasher, Fanoop, Andy, and this player. So crazy, crazy match. Let's do a quick recap of this deck. What do I feel? I feel like PO is pretty bad. I kind of want to just cut the PO and just play a combo Oath deck. So like you don't even have to play Opal. I think you would just like cut Opal, cut PO, and play like some more blue cards so that you can get your Force of Will count high enough, and then maybe you could even play like Vault Key instead of Brain Freeze. Well, Brain Freeze was pretty good. Brain Freeze gets a lot better because of Hullbreacher Horror, actually. So I'm actually pretty okay with Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze ended up doing everything we really wanted it to. Oh, you definitely want to play Tinker or Citadel. We won a lot of games today because of Tinker Citadel as well. I definitely would be. Yeah, I think the answer is just like cut PO, cut Opal. I don't know. Maybe you still play A top, and then you just like play some other blue cards in this spots, and maybe I don't know some other combo cards. There are a bunch of PO like combo Oath decks. I've streamed a bunch of bug combo Oath decks on my channel before. So there's definitely lists out there that you can change and figure something out. But I think overall the general impression was Oath is pretty damn good right now, and Hullbreacher Horror might be the truth if people are not playing Pyroblasts. I guess the other thing is maybe Fanoop's 4 repeal PO deck is a place to be too. But if people start playing 4 repeal PO, then as long as other people adapt and start playing Pyroblast, I don't know how long it will be good. Like if Pete's deck is good right now, it doesn't mean it's going to be good next week. If Pyroblast comes back into the format in any meaningful capacity, and it can easily do that, like the Ragavan Tinker Breach decks, the one that like LSV played. Those are all really strong decks in general. So, you know, Pyroblast meta could come back in full swing. So, anyways, thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video on YouTube, I appreciate that. Are you subscribed yet? Have you subscribed? Do you know that half the people who watch the videos are not subscribed? You can change that. It's free. It helps me out. I would really appreciate it. If not, no worries. I will see you in the next video.